Two teams, one winner. Destiny awaits the successful side at the end of this Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final at Deacon's Stadium this afternoon as Tuggeranong United and Canberra Olympic meet for the right to represent the ACT in the round of 32. And with both clubs having recent happy memories of the competition proper, we should be in for a treat today as they aim to get back onto the national stage. Tuggeranong United in 2014, Gungahlin United in 2015 and Canberra Olympic in 2016. Who will be next to taste the magic of the Westfield FFA Cup? I'm Russ Gibbs, and joining me in the commentary box today is none other than former Socceroo legend Andy Burnell. Welcome, Andy. What are we expecting from today?
Thank you. Another great day for Canberra football. Two sides that have previously played in the final 32 last stages of the FFA Cup. Both once again looking to be the Canberra representative in that final 32 draw.
You mentioned it, that both teams have been there before. Tuggeranong United in 2014, they were the first entrants from the ACT. They played South Hobart and won before going down to Melbourne Victory in front of a bumper crowd at Viking Park. And of course we had the memorable run from Olympic last year, all the way to the semi-finals, in the process becoming, I guess you'd say, the best amateur team in Australia in that respect, because they were the last one left. Well,
I think Tuggeranong actually kind of set the tone or set a precedent. Their run was fantastic, and although they were convincingly beaten by Melbourne Victory, it was a wonderful night for Canberra football, and I think it gave all the other clubs a real nice taste of what the beauty of the Cup can bring. And I would say Canberra Olympic took it a little bit further and set the bar a little higher, and got themselves into a semi-final against possibly the best side last year in the nation.
Yes, and knocking them out in the semi-final last year. As you said, though, Tuggeranong United were the team that set the tone, the first team to go there and open the eyes of the ACT football in public about what the Westfield FFA Cup could bring. Here's their lineup this afternoon. They line up with Tom Barton in goal. Looks like they're going with a back three of Marco Guy, Matt King and Cam Doherty. Two holding midfielders in Liam Highmore and John O'Churek. Nick Faust and Andrew Slavic giving a bit of pace and width. Daniel Roberts and Asose Hegi in the middle there, and Nikos Kalfas up front. Andy, two holding midfielders in this side, it looks like.
Look, I think what they're trying to do there is obviously they feel that Olympics midfield are quite technical, good players. Dominici dropping back, Habitarian, Katanak, all very, very special players, and Colbertado as well for this level of football. So by putting in two holding midfielders in there, obviously trying to crowd the space and deny Olympics attacking players and attacking specialists any room in there.
For Canberra Olympic, Frank Keisha's team looking very similar to the one that he put on the park last year in many of their memorable cup games. Angelo Constantinou is the rock in goal. Back four of Tim Bobolas and Nathan Medjic. Fullback Nick Bobolas and Josh Calabria in centre of defence. A midfield three of Daniel Colbertado, Robbie Katnach and Tom McLaughlin probably playing just in front of them. And a front three, Jeremy Habtemarian and Michael Reeve. Plenty of skill and pace out wide. And Stephen Dominici up front. A lot of goals in Stephen Dominici.
Yes, a lot of goals, and a young man who is still aiming high and still striving to possibly one day nab himself an A-League contract. So these are the kind of stages where he needs to perform. He's playing in a team now who all tasted this kind of experience last season. I think they all want it again. And Stephen is in a position now to go out and make them even a better side this season. And this is the stage for him.
And the third team, of course, today is our match officials. Bruno Kell in the middle. This is his first major final as the first-choice match official, the referee. Assistant referee one is Greg Taylor, who we've seen on the A-League on the line there. Georgia Girardello, one of the very up-and-coming female referees in Canberra, is on AR2. And Matt Rinn is the fourth official, so an experienced team of officials as well. And it's a big day for them too.
I'll look at any exposure and any opportunity for people in Canberra to play on stages like this, referee, officiate on stages like this. It's the wonder, the beauty of the Cup. I was lucky enough to experience it in England as well. Played for Reading against Manchester United in the Cup, and just a beautiful occasion as a player. But for the fans, it's a very, very special journey, and hopefully these teams and the rest of the teams in this country can keep creating a wonderful atmosphere in the Cup in Australia.
What's fairly noticeable straight away, Andy, is the difference in kind of age in both sides. There's far more experience in this Olympic side than there is in the Tuggeranong side. But then, of course, with youth comes no fear. Do you think that will be a difference today?
Oh, look, I think certainly based on what you've just said, Olympic would come in a little bit favourites. They've experienced this before. They've got some older heads. But never take anybody lightly. So they're going to have to be on their mettle. They're up against a young Tuggeranong side who want to prove to a lot of people that they can certainly play against the so-called best side in Canberra and try and get through themselves to the next stage.
Well, there wasn't much between these sides in the Round 8 meeting in late May at Greenway when Olympic won by 3-1. Stephen Dominici scoring 2 of those goals that day, who we spoke about earlier. That's 2 of 18 he's got in the NPL this year as well. So he's definitely a threat to look out for today. But it's Tuggeranong United in the green and white hoop shirts, which will start with kick us off. Nicholas Kalfas kicking the game underway, and it's immediately apparent that those 2 holding midfielders are there, as we spoke about. Here's Faust. First touch for him, a little 1-2 with a Heggie, but it's a loose pass. And immediately it's a throw just in front of us here. So it's the early stages are important, Andy, in these kind of games in setting your tone out.
Of course, you've got to set a tone. You've got to make sure that you're really strong at the back. Try not to concede anything early. So these, the first 20 minutes really, really important for both sides. Obviously, as a manager, you want to make sure that you're nice and steady and don't give anything away early. That would be the last thing you want to do.
It's a big Tom Barton in goal. He was in goal for Cooma Tigers when they were beaten here in the 2014 Federation Cup final by Tuggeranong United. One of a couple of players in that Tigers team that now are turning out in Tuggeranong colours. Daniel Roberts in midfield and Dom Culicello, who's recovering from an injury. He's on the bench today. Here's Cole Bataldo, a former Tuggeranong player, to Tim Bobolis. And the first touch of the afternoon for Angelo Costanzo, goal-scoring hero, of course, in a couple of cup ties last year. Very much the penalty taker in this side.
And just the penalty taker, the big steadying influence in this side. He's certainly, for years, has been, I would say, Canberra's premier keeper.
Yeah, and a Futsalroo international as well. Here's Magic. Had a spell in Victoria, Nathan Magic. Come back to Canberra Olympic. He's going to drop for Dominici, right foot volley. Not quite getting the contact here, but it's still a chance perhaps here out wide for Kadanach. Just turning into a bit of trouble, and Tuggeranong will come away with the ball on the far-hand side. And a quick little exchange of passes. And Kalfas, physical centre forward. A lot of skill, the Greek import. And as you'd expect early on, it's just a question of both sides just trying to find their feet.
That's right, just trying to find steady ground, and Olympic passing the ball around well right now.
A very experienced central defensive pairing here of Nick Bobolis to Calabria. Notice to be Tuggeranong a long way off and letting the Olympic play with the ball deep. No pressing in the final third at the moment. Happy to let Olympic have the ball. It's Dominici. Will change of direction from Dominici and try to find a bit of space for Reeve. To McLaughlin. Roberts shadowing him nicely. There's Reeve again. Had a trial with the Futsalroos at some stage last year. Another skillful player as well. A lot of these Olympic boys have had a futsal experience as well.
Yeah, it works wonders for the outdoor game. If you can differentiate between what you need to do on a futsal pitch and then take it onto an outdoor pitch, then like Rogic, you can take that next step.
Yeah, Tommy Rogic, of course, one of the local boys here, and Andy knows him very well. Had a great season with Celtic. He capped it with a screaming goal to win the Scottish Cup final a few weeks ago, and at a level that there's some boys in Canberra, Andy, that could actually reach that level as well.
Of course, Tom's a special player, but it's like many things. At the right time, at the right place, he was kind of overlooked for certain things, but he found the right people, the right advice, the right environment, and he's now flourishing.
Yeah, and certainly expect a lot more from Tommy in the years to come. Here's Hapta Mariam to Bobolis. Katanach in a pocket of space. Cole Bataldo, one of the unsung heroes of this Olympic side, is Magic. Room to manoeuvre for the left back. Can't find McLaughlin though, and it's easily picked off by Liam Highmore, and that's come off of Reeve for a goal kick. Early stages of the match, no goals so far after 4 minutes. Thanks for tuning in to Bar TV for this live coverage of the Westwood FFA Cup qualifying final here in Canberra between Tuggeranong United and Canberra Olympic. New look Tuggeranong United this season under the coaching stewardship of Sean Murphy, who came in when Milo Trinick left the club after round 3, and the Irishman has done quite well, Andy. He's picked up some points. We'll just come back to that in a second. Here's McLaughlin on the edge area, shooting chance back for Tommy McLaughlin, but straight down the throat of Tom Barton. Didn't get enough curl on that. But Murphy's done well with the group of young boys he's got here.
Look, he's a young man moving into the coaching ranks. Was a player with Tuggeranong, so he's a bit of a a club hero, a club favourite, and obviously has ambitions to coach. So what a wonderful opportunity for him, and to be placed in the cup with so little time in the game for him is fantastic as well.
Perhaps a man dribbling into the area. I'll tell you what, though, Andy, I love it that you're calling him a young man, because I actually played with him in Masters last year.
Did you?
So that's how old he is.
Well, he's a young man compared to me.
Sean Murphy, no one can understand what he's saying most of the time anyway, with his strong Irish brogue. So he's obviously getting his instructions through to his young players, though, so that's a good thing.
Look, I think they're trying to make it as difficult as possible for Olympic. It won't be easy. How long they can retain this hard work in midfield without being played around, we'll see.
So still early days. His Magic again. Had lots of touches early on the left back. Goes back towards Constantinu. And there you can see Heggie's pushing forward to help support Nicholas Kalfas when Olympic are defending. His Magic. Reeves made the run, but coming across to challenge well is young 16-year-old centre-back Matt King. Very promising player for the future here for Tuggeranong. 16 years old and playing in a cup final, Andy. It's not too bad, is it?
Look, it's fantastic, and it's something that, as a young kid, what a wonderful achievement. But also credit to the club for giving kids opportunities, and it's what should happen more in this city. 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, if they're good enough, they should get an opportunity to play.
Cadnach with a great turn, and Dominici just stumbles a little as he tried to get on the end of that, but there's a bit of skill from Robbie Cadnach, who's had a good tournament so far, scored a couple of goals in the semi-final win over Canberra FC, and always one for the big occasion is Robbie. Here's a bit of space for Heggie, though, and he's got a bit of pace too. Let's see what he can do. The former Belconnen youngster skips past a couple of challenges. Good run this from Heggie. Now there's space out wide for Doherty. It looks who's running into the area. Here's Kalfas, takes a control. Shooting chance for Nikos Kalfas is deflected, and all the pace was taken off it. But Tuggeranong on their first major attack there really have carved Olympic open, and a good opportunity for Kalfas.
That was a fantastic opportunity. Control let him down. The initial control let him down a little bit. Could have done a little bit better, but dangerous sign for Olympic.
Here's King sweeping the ball into the penalty area, and it's headed clear by Tim Bobolas. And now Jeremy Habtemarian has half of Deakin Stadium to run into. Full of skill as well. Good tracking back there by Andrew Slavic out on the left-hand side. Here's Kelpataldo. And Magic again. McLaughlin was looking for it, but not the understanding quite there at the moment for Olympic. And Tuggeranong's defence, well marshalled there by young Nick Faust too, have closed the gaps pretty well.
They're closing the gaps very well. They're quite tight in between. The lines are tight in between defence and midfield. And at the moment, Olympic just struggling to get any kind of space or momentum in the midfield, which is their strength.
Here's Colbertaldo. Well, Tim Bobolas has a bit of room in which to manoeuvre, but not much movement in front of him at the moment, so he comes short to Cadnach. Little exchange of passes, and here's Colbertaldo as they look to stretch Tuggeranong. Very disciplined defensive performance from both teams so far. Here's Reeve past young Faust inside to Colbertaldo. That's a little ball down the channel, and Habtemarian stayed on side here. And he's got away from the marker and still going Habtemarian, but he just overran it there, and lovely little bit of skill there from Jeremy Habtemarian to get away from, I think it was Faust down on this near side.
Yeah, he did well. Got around Faust. The young Faust went out and Abatarium got a lucky bounce and continued on with it, and possibly could have passed earlier. Took maybe one more touch than he should have.
Yeah, noticeably there wasn't many bodies in the box for him to hit, though, was there? There's only Dominici making the late run. Here's Roberts down the channel looking for a Heggie. Now he's got pace, and so has Nick Bobolas coming back, and that's the first corner of the afternoon. Chance for Tuggeranong to send forward their big fellas from the back. Liam Heimel will trot up there as well alongside Jono Chirek, who's come back to the club from the Canberra United Academy this year. He's a tall fella as well. Let's see what Faust can do with this corner. He's gone short, and no one's gone with Doherty, and Faust's ball into the area is overhit. Nice little move there, good idea, but didn't quite come off in the execution.
I like the fact that they're trying new things. It's something that, in my experience of MPL over the last 4 or 5 years, any clubs that I've been involved with, they don't try to practice or manufacture situations like that, and it's good to see people trying things like that.
We're coming up to 10 minutes gone in the match. Still 0-0. Fair to say it hasn't sparked quite yet, but we're expecting big things from this. I'm sure a little bit later on. It's a big occasion for both these teams. They want to play on that national stage, Andy, and I guess that's why we're seeing a bit of a tentative opening.
Oh, look, they're both a little cautious at the moment. The way I see it right now, it's Tuggeranong catching Olympic on the break, or a spark of something special from a Dominici or a Catanach that will change the direction of this game.
Well, here is Catanach from range, trying his luck, but that's straight down the throat of Highmore, who sends it forward. Now, Heggie could get away here. Constantinu comes out, though, use all his experience to thump it up the field. And it's flicked on by Tim Bobolas towards Hapton Merriam. And Cam Doherty's got to be careful here, but he defends that pretty well. Could only give it to Tim Bobolas, though, but wins it back again, claiming the throw-in that it got a nick off Tim Bobolas, and it did. So Tuggeranong will have a throw. But as you say, there's a dangerous ball forward again, and it looks like from our initial lineup there, Heggie is up to support Kalfas, and they seem to be interchanging a little bit in that role.
Look, he's both he and Kalfas are quick, very, very quick. So it'd be a waste for a team not to use them up further up on the line, and obviously that's a little tactic that they're going with. The Heggie will drop back at times, but will certainly, when he can, move up into a more forward role.
And Highmore won that free kick. Tuggeranong United's road to this semi-final saw them defeat Lanyon United 2-0 in round 4, then a huge 8-2 win over Riverina, in which Associate Heggie scored 5 times, and then their semi-final win over Monero Panthers with a 3-1 win. Last two of those games, the win over Riverina and the semi-final, young Carl Armino came off the bench, another young talent. He scored within seconds of coming on both times. We'll have a chat about him in a second as Dominici chases, but good pace back there from Matt King. But Dominici used the experience to knock him off the ball. Still going, Dominici. Into the area. Back to Reeve. Catanach punches it back in. Now, can Dominici get goal side? He can, but the flag's up. The flag's up and it won't count. Nice little 1-2. Great ball from Catanach, but Dominici just goal side.
Very clever from Catanach. First time back into Dominici, who initially had set the whole thing up with his keeping the ball in play down near the corner. Seems to be limping Dominici at the moment.
Maybe he just pulled something there. It was a tidy finish from the... we're looking at the replay now. It was a tidy finish. Catanach punches it in. He's just got goal side. He finished it beautifully past Barton into the corner. But Tuggeranong lived to fight another day as the flag was up. Probably the correct decision as well. Good call there on the far side by George Girardello. Here's Faust to Roberts. Faust again. A little heavy on the touch. And Cole Bataldo tidies up to Magic. Calabria looking for a run forwards. Reeves after it, but Marco Guy has come across and should deal with this. But again, the touch was a bit heavy again. A little bit of nerves there, do you think, Annie, in these early stages for both these sides, with the touches being a bit heavy?
I think it's a product of what the end carrot is, the end reward is. They're all a little bit tentative at the moment.
Yeah, no one wants to be the one to make that error that could cost them their side a goal. Here's Magic. Been threatening down this wing. In a large part, though, they've coped with him pretty well early on. Yeah, I was saying about Tuggeranong's run, and young Carl Amino came off the bench, young striker that they've got high hopes for, scored 2 very rapid goals in those games, so there's plenty of options on the bench.
It's a fantastic thing to see.
There's Magic in towards the near post, half cleared, it's going to drop for Cole Bataldo. Nice little disguised pass as well, and they're looking for a free kick on the edge there, and they're getting one here for a foul on Stephen Dominici, and you'd say this is Robbie Catanach's territory through and through.
This is Robbie or Stevie, and Robbie has been known to score some goals from this area.
He's definitely a free kick expert. He likes to go early on occasions, Robbie, but I don't think the referee's going to let him go early this time. It's in a decent field. It was a bit of a clumsy challenge at the back there. I think it was young Matt King who had gone in on the back of Dominici, and Cam Doherty was involved as well. So a bit of a sandwich there to give the free kick away, and this is a prime position for Canberra Olympic as we approach the quarter hour mark at Deakin Stadium. Olympic, who, as we mentioned, were semi-finalists in the FFA Cup proper last year. Robbie Catanach, who has 3 goals to his name in this competition, including those brace in the semi-finals. He's behind this ball, as you'd expect, as is Tom McLaughlin, who's been known to take a free kick in his time as well. The referee, Bruno Kell, just marching the wall back. Let's see if there's a moment of magic from one of these Canberra Olympic boys. I would suggest, if I was putting my mortgage on it, that it will be Robbie Cadnach who will take this, even though Tommy McLaughlin's there. It is Cadnach, and it's a cracker! An absolute beauty from Robbie Cadnach, as you would expect from one of Canberra Olympic's most experienced players. Rifles the right foot shot, past the wall and into the top corner, and his first blood Canberra Olympic.
Fantastic strike from Robbie. He's known for those free kicks. Dangerous area to give away a free kick when you're playing against Olympic. And Robbie certainly stepped up and finished with aplomb.
Yeah, if we're looking at the replay and the shot there, would you say that perhaps Tom Barton's positioning was a little bit questionable, or was it just the power of the shot?
Well, the power of the shot was fantastic. I'm not sure if it went through the wall, but certainly before the free kick was taken, Tom looked to be right centre of that goal, not to one side in any way. So, but certainly a fantastic strike. I wouldn't lay any blame with Tom.
Fantastic strike to open the scoring here in the Westwood FFA Cup qualifying final. Robbie Cadnach doing what Robbie Cadnach does with an absolute cracker. Stephen Dominici getting a bit of treatment on a hamstring down here. It looks his left hammy. Maybe that was a product of what you were talking about a little bit earlier there, Andy, of him limping. So what have Tuggeranong got? This young side who've made their way to the final, find themselves a goal down. Probably not the start they would have liked, but there's still plenty of time left in it, and a lot of belief in this team. Doherty up towards Kalfas, down towards Ehegi. Skips past one challenge, bit of a lunging challenge as well from Calabria, and he's going to concede the free kick. Pretty good advantage there from the referee.
I think now is where we'll see how good these young boys at Tuggeranong are. Obviously have to come out and try and get themselves a goal now. Not an easy thing to do. And the last thing you want to do is get caught on the break by Olympic.
Yeah, of course, all the pressure now is on Tuggeranong looking for an equaliser. The ball dropped into the area up towards Chirek, who'd come forward. It's broken for Reeve. Now the space for Dominici on the break, and McLaughlin's making a storming run just ahead of him. He comes left to Reeve. One-on-one at the moment. Michael Reeve slows it down to look for support, and there's plenty of it on the right-hand side. Bobolis to Habtemariam. Looking for the run of Bobolis into the penalty area, and a good sliding challenge back there from, I think it was Marco Geyer, I think, going across to challenge there, the centre-back. A good tackle as well, but another swift and incisive break from Olympic. Good
last-ditch tackle from the young lad. The last thing Tuggeranong want to do is concede too many free kicks, too many corners. Conceding a second would not start looking good for them.
No, Michael Reeve's gone across to take it. Nathan Medjic's wandered in, as has Tim Bobolis, both useful headers of a football. See if Reeve can supply the ammunition. He's gone near post, and it's bouncing around in the air, and a shot on the turn. I think that was from Bobolis from the back. He was up, he's back in there again. The header's goalward, but over the crossbar from Cadnach in the end. I think that broke to Tim Bobolis in the area. A bit of a ricochet in and around the box, and Tim Bobolis on the turn. Not a natural goal scorer by any stretch of the imagination, but got his shot away. It was blocked. I
actually think a few of them towards the end, they got in each other's way. It was ball came back in, and it ended up going over the bar.
It's a ball looking. That's that long ball that Tuggeranong have tried 2 or 3 occasions so far today. It's harmless this time, and Constantino's happy just to slow things down. Here's Calabria. Colbertaldo. Olympic with that 1-goal lead. Calabria's ball forward is picked off by Highmore, looking for Ehegi, who's beaten to it by Calabria. Here's Reeve again. He's pushing the back, but there's an advantage being played. Nothing comes of it, so another free kick. To say that for his first major final, I think Bruno Kell's done pretty well for the first 20 minutes or so.
Yes, he has.
There's a quick free kick taken. They're looking for the run of Habtemariam. He's let it flow, and we're getting a reasonable game because of that at the moment. Medjic goes short. Here's Reeve. Cadnach again. Reeve and Habtemariam. Little triangles of football being played by Olympic, but Daniel Roberts snaffles in and wins that ball. Here's Faust. But winning it back again is Medjic, and Tuggeranong can't get hold of the thing at the moment. Is Colbertaldo. out towards Reeve, and across comes Dirty to head out a player. Andy, looking at the shape of the game, Tuggeranong aren't pressing the ball carrier at the moment at all. They're quite happy to play in that zone. Do you think that's hurting them at the moment?
Look, the last 5 minutes has been all Olympic. They've grown in confidence in scoring the goal. At the moment, it seems, unless Tuggeranong catch them on the break, it seems like the only team looking like they'll score again soon is Olympic. They're having a lot of the play, haven't quite got that cutting edge in the final third, but certainly having a lot of possession.
His Magic. Faust comes across to try and stop him, and it's how to play for this throw. And like I say, Tuggeranong aren't pressing too high at the moment. They're happy just to contain. Here's Roberts. Now is Chirek. Got a lot of ability, John Chirek. He can pick a pass as well. Maybe they're just trying to calm things down a little bit. It's Doherty. Not much movement ahead of him. Chirek, he maybe look for the ball down the line, he will, but Kaufas hasn't read that one. And Calabria will go across to cover, but Kaufas puts him under a bit of pressure, and he wins a corner out of it as well. Good front running from Nicholas Kaufas to win that one.
It chased it down well, and it's the little mistakes like that that can be costly in cup ties, and to be honest with you, Calabria should have dealt with it better.
Fairly casual, wasn't he, when he was approaching that ball. Now Kaufas has gone to take the corner, and he's gone short to Faust, who tries to swing the ball in, but it's deflected clear. It might come for Kaufas on the edge there, but Dominici's beating him to it, and now Reeve is going to break, and Olympic will come forward in numbers again without a doubt. Here's Katnach. He's got the ability to hold it up and look for runners, and there's 2 or 3 on this near side. Habta Merriam's leading the charge. Across there, Matt King comes over. King gets a foot in to slow it down, but it's going to fall for Bobolas, and every loose ball is picked up by a blue shirt at the moment. Here's Dominici, pass 1. Bobolas to Habta Merriam. 1-on-1, he loves these positions. Tuggeranong back in numbers now. It's good retreating in the end. Here's Magic, and Olympic forced to come back and start again. Calabria to Magic again. Now Habta Merriam and Kadnach. Very confident Olympic look at the moment, Andy. They're very confident in possession. There's good movement. There's always an option for the passer.
They're starting to take control of this game.
McLaughlin out wide to Reeve. They've created the overlap. Now can they deliver? But in the end, Reeve's pass doesn't come to anything. But Dominici finds Habta Merriam. It's going to fall for Dominici again. He could hit that from there. But good defending by Slavic, I think that was, to take it off his toe. They just can't get out, though, Tuggeranong at the moment. It's always coming back to them from Olympic. Here's Magic into the area, and it's going to be harmless. It should be. And Dominici's got in, but the flag's up again. The flag's up again on the far side. It was a fairly harmless-looking ball from Magic, but Dominici read it superbly and nipped in to score, but the flag was up again, and there wouldn't have been an awful lot in that. Just checking it out here as Magic, in fact, I'll give him credit. He's picked the run of Dominici, who's got in there, and he just strayed just a moment too soon, but worrying signs there. Again, they got in fairly easily.
It was a fantastic run by Dominici, a real goal poacher's run. Unlucky the flag came up, but it's something that Olympic need to get a little bit better at in this game. Certainly having a lot of joy with possession, but need to get a little bit better in that last third.
Yeah, but that's twice now that Dominici's had the ball in the net and been denied by the flag. And Constantine has been charged down here, just a little bit casual. Gets away with that one, does Big Ange, in the Olympic goal. Slavic towards Kaufas, and Calabria comes across to clear.
And it's those little things, whether it's in attack or defence, that once you get through this stage of the cup, you've got to be better. You've got to be better. Once you start playing A-League teams and other top NPL clubs, you've got to be a little bit better with all these mistakes. Yeah, because they can certainly cause you issues if you do make those kind of mistakes. Tuggeranong found that out against Melbourne Victory. Those little errors that perhaps wouldn't be punished at the NPL level were clinically dispatched by the A-League sides. Yes. And that's the difference, I guess, between the amateur and the professional levels. Here's Colbertaldo. McLaughlin's there, but Highmore, who's been lively in the first 25 minutes or so. Liam Highmore's been all around the field, chasing a cause. Magic's right-footed ball, looking for the run of Reeve, but that's overhit and easily picked off by Tom Barton. So 20 minutes left in the half. You'd have to say it's
It's been Olympics half so far, 2 disallowed goals and the actual goal that separates the sides. And Tuggeranong yet really to test Angela Constantinou in the Olympic goal.
It has really been all Olympic, but the scoreline is still 1-0, and it's a funny old game.
It's cup football, as you say, Andy. Anything can happen, and Tuggeranong will be hoping they can get back into this. Here's Roberts. A bit of space for him for the first time this afternoon to put a forward ball, and that's a good ball too. Faust has got away from Habtemarian. Chance perhaps for Nick Faust, and saw a bit of glory there, and he went for goal. And yeah, good confidence for the young lad to have a go from there, but didn't quite get hold of it. You talked about it earlier, Andy, when you were playing for Reading against a club like Manchester United, and you go a goal behind. What's the mindset at that stage? Are you looking for an equaliser, or are you thinking, well, let's not concede a second at this stage?
When you're playing against a great side like Manchester United, you're always capable of conceding a goal at any time. So I think it's keep playing and doing what you've done all season. Stick to that. Try and win as many one-on-one battles as you can, and time will take care of the rest. We lost 2-0 to a fantastic, great Manchester United side, but we came off and the fans were really, really happy.
That's the important thing. I think at the moment, Tuggeranong with this free kick looking for a way back into the game. That's a good clearing header from Daniel Colbertaldo. Smallest man on the field, getting up really well there. There's a hint from Tuggeranong fans of climbing a little bit, but a no-go. Step over from Kalfas. He's got himself some room, but he's well marshalled out wide there by Robbie Kadnach, who sees it out for a throw. Better signs for Tuggeranong, though, as they look to find a way back into the contest. Here's Roberts. Hauled to the ground there by Tom McLaughlin. And this is a free kick in a dangerous position, and a chance perhaps to drop that ball into the area and test Angela Constantinou. If you can drop this, just between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, a chance maybe for someone to get on the end of it.
Again, silly free kick to give away. I don't think Frank will be happy with that. Certainly stronger sides would be in a position to punish you. Let's see what Tuggeranong have.
Kalfas isn't shy of a shot from this kind of angle, the Greek star, so let's see what he's got lined up here. He's got a couple of bodies in the area. Highmore's in there, as is Doherty and Chireke on the penalty spot, just having a chat with the referee. And Nikos Kalfas will look to swing this one into the danger and see what he can come up with. He's a decent-looking ball, but it's not beaten Kadnach at the near post, and it's headed away. It's going to drop for Faust, though, who tries his luck again. And once more, it's just a little bit high and wide, but it must have taken a nick off Colbertaldo on the way, so it's another corner. Faust getting some instructions off Murphy, who seems to be suggesting that someone else come and take the dead ball.
Nick's one of the young boys I work with. Have been working with him for a few years, and fantastic character, great attitude, fantastic athlete, good young footballer, and you know what, at his age, great to see him out here and trying things, having a go.
Yeah, they spotted him at Tuggeranong, like I say, a few years ago, and he came down. He went straight to the first team, and he's a good little prospect. Can play, very composed. He's swinging that ball, and it's a good-looking corner as well. Nicked away.
Better that he's trying things and making mistakes than not try or not get in positions too.
Exactly, and that's a deep-looking ball, and that's going to beat everybody and go for a goal kick. Yeah, it's good that there's confidence on the boy. We've seen him play before, and he's got a lot of calmness on the ball, a lot of composure for a young lad as well. And, the confidence, you say, to take on those opportunities. You never know what might come. Another exciting prospect out on this field. Nice to see Angelo Constantinou, hero of the FFA Cup. Still got some tracky pants this year. Loves his tracky pants.
He does too.
Old school goalkeeping. With Vora last year with his tracky pants and his cap. Here's Roberts. And Magic knocks it back to Constantinou. He did, like I say, I was joking a bit last year about Angelo's, the appearance of, he's wearing his tracky pants and his cap, but, it belies the fact that he's an incredibly good goalkeeper, and it has been for a number of years.
He's a fantastic keeper, and certainly has been the premier #1 keeper in this city for a long, long time, a futsal-roo. And if he wants to wear tracky bottoms, let him wear tracky bottoms.
Absolutely, we're all for it. His Faust with the corner again. Goes short this time to Roberts, who clips it to the back post. It's a good-looking ball, and the header comes in. It's off the crossbar. It's going to break in the area again, and that's so unlucky for Tuggeranong United. They almost got the equaliser there. Nicely worked corner routine. Roberts clipped it to the back post. Couldn't quite see who it was who got in there with the header, but we'll have a double check. It was a lovely little corner routine, and as it swung towards the far post, a couple of bodies went in. And it may well have been perhaps Doherty who got up to head the ball, and it's come back off the crossbar, but unlucky. Good corner routine.
What I have liked about Tuggeranong today, although they've been a little outplayed in general play this half, they seem to have worked on set pieces, and that one nearly paid off.
Yeah, that was a good well-worked set piece, definitely off the training ground, that one. They might try that one again. And I'm sure next time Olympic will be a little bit more alert to that late run from Roberts, but beautifully weighted ball from Roberts as well. Here's Kalfas trying to get goal side. He's looking for a free kick, and he gets one. Nick Bobolas just pulling him back a bit. In the last 5 minutes, Tuggeranong have come into it a little bit. It's like they've settled, got used to the occasion, and they have. Maybe they're going to challenge and create some opportunities.
Well, they haven't, and Kalfas and Ahegi, you can never go to sleep or rest on your laurels with pace like that to defend against. Pace will always kill you. If they keep giving away silly free kicks as they've done this half, Tuggeranong just might make them pay.
Let's see what happens with this one. This is the latest in several. Roberts goes into Ahegi. It comes Stanton, who doesn't get there, but Calabria completes the clearance, and Roberts caught in two minds, I think, to have a go there. Instead, knocks it wide to Kalfas. He'll take on his man. We've got two to contend with. Still going. Does well in the end. Here's Roberts. Hits one right-footed, and Constantinu diving to his right, palms the ball over the crossbar. That one was destined for the top corner as well, and a great hit from Roberts and an equally good save.
A world-class save. We were talking about Ange not long ago, and boy, did he pull a worldie out there.
Yeah, Kalfas set it back to him as well, set up, and that one was flying, and that's a great save from Constantinu. Living up to the billing. Here comes Tuggeranong again, up to the near post. It's Dominici who controls it. Now it's 3-on-2 here. Dominici can do it, play the right pass. He's fine, Katnach. Slows it down a little bit. Then looks to sweep the ball in behind towards Nick Bobolas, who's made the run forward. And the big centre-back still going. And Barton can't quite deal with it. Unfortunately for Tuggeranong, it bounces away off of Nick Bobolas. But that's a great run from a centre-back off of the defending a free kick to get 70, 80 metres forward.
Fantastic run, and Tuggeranong were lucky it bounced back out to Bobolas, and maybe not a more composed forward like a Dominici or a Katanak.
But credit to Nick Bobolas there. We're going to say the front two from Tuggeranong are pretty quick, but Nick Bobolas and Josh Calabria are no slouches themselves. And here's Colbertaldo. Kadnach, now McLaughlin, back to Kadnach again. This time Tuggeranong snuff it out. And Slavic brings it forward to Kalfas. Magic's in strong, but Kalfas still has the ball. Nice balance as Kalfas. And Highmore is bustled out of it by three Olympic players, one of which is Colbertaldo, and in the end, Liam Highmore concedes a free kick. But there's some good hustle there from Olympic to shut down the Tuggeranong midfield. But Kalfas looks like he's got a bit of skill and a little bit of composure as well, Andy.
Look, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's got pace and he's got skill. And people like that are always going to hurt you if you give them time.
He looks Tuggeranong's best bet at the moment. Him and Ahegi, another strong challenge. Doherty this time on Tim Bobolas.
Certainly Tuggeranong have come back into this game.
Yeah, they've certainly been right back into it, and they had a couple of chances there. Hit the crossbar with Doherty. That good hit from Roberts as well. Tested Angelo Constantinu. Keeps Frank Keisha and Olympic on their toes. Lets them know they're still in the final. It's not done yet by any stretch of the imagination. Gaia heads it clear. And Roberts helps it on his way, but his pass was a bit weak, but his comebacks to him. Doherty is a bit of a rush clearance from Cam Doherty. Got a bit lucky again.
Both teams at the moment losing possession too easily.
Yeah, someone needs to get their foot on the ball, and this boy could probably do it. Kamnach finds Magic on the overlap. Sends it into the air looking for Dominici. This is danger. Good touch from Dominici. Looks to open it up and try the 1-2 with Habtemariam. Might have been better off pulling the trigger there after a sensational first touch. Took him away from the defenders. You get the feeling he could be amongst the goals this afternoon, Dominici. He started brightly.
Well, he's had two disallowed. He's always a threat and a danger.
Here's Habtemariam. Lots of room for Jeremy Habtemariam. Here's McLaughlin as well. Tried to slide it through to Habtemariam again, and that last gasp tackle coming in from Tuggeranong. Kalfas gets away from one, gets away from a second, and is called back. Wanted the advantage, but the referee's given a free kick anyway. Kalfas a little bit disappointed there, Andy. He was a bit of space. He got away from his marker, and maybe the ref could have let that one go a little bit longer.
He could have let that go 100%. But it's not an easy job they got out there as well.
Let's say we were just saying earlier on he's having a good game, and yes. If he hadn't pulled him up and they'd lost possession, they'd certainly have let him know, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
Here's McLaughlin, lovely little cushion header down towards Reeve if he can keep it in play, and he can. Now he'll take on Doherty. Not shy to take on his man Reeve, who swings it in. Here's the chance. Dominici controls and volleys spectacularly. Acrobatic effort from Stephen Dominici, but didn't really test Tom Barton, who watched it go wide. But once again, bright and alert and a good effort.
It was fantastic drive forward from Reeves. He's got a lot of pace. That's something that he's got to do more often. Swept in a lovely cross, and Dominici some beautiful control with his chest, but just couldn't quite get over it.
Yeah, the first touch, exceptional once again. You talk about what separates your good players from your great players, and that first touch is one of them.
It's of almost number one importance. A few years back, I went and watched the Brazil under-20s, the young Socceroo under-20s, and the only real difference between both sides, they both played well, but that first touch of the Brazilians, just beautiful.
Yeah, create that space where there's non-existent as well, can't it? It can just kill you and give you the opportunity.
It just sets everything up for your next touch.
Yeah. We're certainly seeing some good football here this afternoon on Bar TV. It's the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final down here in Canberra. Tuggeranong United 0, Canberra Olympic 1. A goal from Robbie Katnach direct from a free kick after a quarter of an hour separates the two sides. Since then, Tuggeranong United have come into it a bit more. Angela Constantino called into action to deny Daniel Roberts. Cam Doherty header, we think it was, that came back off the crossbar. And what at one stage looked like it might be one-way traffic is perhaps turning into a decent game. Here's Kalfas, looking for the run of Ihegi. And Constantino's going to have to clear up here. Katnach has failed to keep it in, and Tuggeranong will have the throw. Bit of pinball around there. But it's certainly settled into an intriguing contest.
Well, Olympics still always dangerous in attack, but certainly Tuggeranong have come back into it.
Well, that's a raking ball, and here's Habtemariam. He's got goal side briefly, but Nick Faust does well, very well to defend and get the ball back to Barton. For a second it looked like Jeremy Habtemariam was away, but Faust did his job well.
He did do well,
as we come to expect.
And a lot of these players, younger and some of the older ones, are always the ones that are looking to go further. Always asking me, the pathway, what pathway this, what pathway that. Certainly, these are the stages where you've got to make a statement, make an impact.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of people watching Australia-wide as well, seeing what talent we have here in Canberra. And there's plenty of young talent out there. And Faust is chasing this ball forward, but Magic is going to cut this one out quite comfortably. In the end, it's a rushed pass, and it's going to be picked up by King to Kalfas. Hits one from distance. It's going to break, perhaps for Slavic, but Bobolas gets rid of it. To King again. Roberts tried to turn it around the corner, but didn't quite have the right body angle to do so. Magic. Will exchange with Colbertaldo, and then another long ball forward from Magic again. It seems he does favour that long ball a bit. This way, Frank Keisha's maybe told him to look for those runs wide of Habtemariam and Reeve early. If he gets one right, Andy, it could be some problem for the Tuggeranong defence, because they are one-on-one at some stages back there.
Exactly, but at the moment, hasn't been able to really get one right, because Tuggeranong front 3 and 4 are actually exerting a bit of pressure. They started initially not pressing at all, and it seems like whether they've got a second wind or under instruction, they're actually trying to press a little bit more.
I'm calling the fact they're listening to this on the commentary on the bench, mate, and they've seen it, and they're like, yeah,
that's it.
Better get the press on. Give Sean Murphy a bit more credit than that, I think. Here's Calabria. And that's a good ball to Robbie Katnach, and he's dangerous in these positions. Now here's Reeve. He under-hit that one, Robbie Katnach, unlike him. We walked on this field earlier on, and it was reasonably good. It's a bit bumpy in patches, but for this stage of the season, I guess it's playing pretty well.
Look, it's you can't complain about this pitch. It's seen better days. It's seen worse days. But I've never been to this ground, this pitch, and and said, "Oh, I wouldn't like to play on it." It's always playable, whether it's a little bit smoother sometimes than others. It's got a nice feel about it, this pitch.
Yeah, the home of Canberra FC, Marko Verkic and his ground staff here do a fantastic job.
Yes, they do.
This venue has been the stage of many a big game. Canberra Olympic played all their FA Cup games here last year, with the exception of the semi-final. Home of the Federation Cup final for a few years as well, and alongside McKellar Park, and one of the two properly premier venues, you'd say, in Canberra. Reasonable crowd in now as well. You can't see it on this near side. These two stands that we're in on this near side of Deakin are pretty full, and a fair few on the smattering on the far side as well. Here's Haptomerian. Faust comes across. So we've got about 5 minutes to half time, as Medjic looking to extend the Olympic lead. Roberts goes close to him, but Medjic swings that one in again with that left foot, and it's headed clear well by Slavic. He's defended well. He's gone back to an auxiliary fullback when needed. Here's Colbertaldo looking to exchange passes with Dominici, who turns, might give the shot away. Now he's found space for Kadnach. What can Robbie Kadnach do? Here's Dominici, real chance here, and he's dragged it wide. Who would have thought? A great opportunity for Steven Dominici. Kadnach picked him out in the area, and you would have banked on him from there.
Absolutely special play.
It's come into the middle from Kadnach here. He's found him, and he's 8 yards out. Good control again, and just snatched at the shot a little bit.
Beautiful touch, turn.
He just saw that, tried to win for power rather than placement.
Saw a bit of glory there.
Yeah, maybe a bit more placement would have helped in that scenario. Well done by Kalfas to keep that in, but Medjic's back to deny him, and here's Colbertaldo, and he's looking for the run of Dominici, but Guy has got that one covered. The clearance was snatched at, and Faust is also snatched at his, and I think Kalfas fouled Colbertaldo, but the referee's letting it go. Haptomerian. Good turn from Robbie Kadnach. Ball break for Reeve, but not quite coming off for Olympic at the moment. Here's Reeve again. Tim Bobolis. That's helped forward into touch, but you think, if I'd not been shortage of talking points so far, Andy, Tuggeranong have had a spell, but it still looks like Olympic are the more likely. And
it's still 1-0, so it's, to be honest with you, it's anyone's game still. You know, a lot of talking points, 2 disallowed goals. Was it the crossbar or the post that Tuggeranong hit?
Yeah, it's been a good final so far here on Bar TV, the Westfield FA Cup qualifying final here in Canberra. The winner, of course, goes to the round of 32. Both these clubs we mentioned at the top of the broadcast have been there before. There's Dominici in the area. Olympica's late as last year, of course. Their run to this final has seen them beat Goulburn Strikers 6-0, a 3-0 win over Woden Western, and a 3-1 win over Canberra FC, so they're not known for conceding goals in this tournament. Here's Dominici. And he tries to curl one, and that's just going to drift wide of goal. If Tuggeranong are to get back into this, they're going to have to do something that no one's done against them in this competition, Andy, and that's score twice if we're not going to go to penalties.
That's correct, and that it won't be easy. But we'll see the second 45 minutes who copes with the pace of the game, whether it picks up, whether it stays the same. The young boys should have plenty of running in them, the Tuggeranong boys. Canberra's experience. There's a lot to discuss and a lot to be seen.
Well, there's a lot of forward talent on the bench for Tuggeranong as well, looking at it, but it's very young. Aldi Cummins, Carlo Mino and Marshall Smythe, all youngsters from the club's academy programme. Good to see them on the bench. As Dominici turns brilliantly, what an opportunity this could be. Steven Dominici into the area and into the side netting. He's going closer and closer as Dominici, and that's a great turn again, showing his skills. Got away from the marker, but couldn't quite find the finish when it needed. Beautiful turn, stepped around his man, but couldn't quite get the accuracy on the shot, which was deflected wide for a corner. Just saying, they're very much a lot of young talent on the bench, and then Dominic Coluccello, a bit older, a bit more experienced as a holding midfielder, but you know, 3 young lads, a lot of pace in them. Look, could be a day for one of those.
You never know in the cup.
There's a corner from Reeve, looking towards Medjic on the far post, who heads it back across goal. It's just nodded clear, only as far as Dominici, who's lurking. Little ball back in the air, but Barton's got that all day long. Big boy, Tom Barton. decent size for a goalkeeper.
He's a perfect size for a goalkeeper, to be honest.
Another young lad who's was at Kuma Tigers before and took the opportunity to come and play first-team football. Here's Habtemariam. Cadnach didn't quite get that one right, and luckily for Tuggeranong, Cam Doherty had picked it. Otherwise, Dominici would have been away again. And that's well done by Chirek. Looks to take on his man, but he's going to be pulled back for an unfortunate little shove there in the back of Tommy McLaughlin. That's quite a lot of space Robbie Cadnach is getting in the middle of the park. I think that you think that will make Sean Murphy a little bit nervous that Robbie Cadnach is getting that much room.
Well, certainly that he's getting room, and certainly that Dominici is starting to look more and more dangerous as the game goes on. Looked like he was limping early on. Not sure whether it was an ankle or a hamstring problem, but seems to be going okay now. And the last thing you want is Cadnach getting on the ball with space and time, and Dominici up front waiting for it to be delivered.
Yeah, whatever was in that magic spray that they sprayed on Stephen Dominici's leg early on seems to have done the trick. Bit of numbing agent, you'd imagine. Here's Cadnach. Oh, great turn from Robbie Cadnach. Pulls it across the goal. Matt King deflects off his shin straight into Barton. It's either the coolest piece of defending you've ever seen or very, very lucky. Is McLaughlin. He didn't look worried, did he? The young lad. No. He's just gone off his shin and he's gone, okay, fair enough.
How do you deem that? That's not a pass back, is it? It's accidental.
Yeah, it's accidental, I guess. It's really much hit him rather than he's played at it, I guess. Would have been a bit of a harsh call, and that's half time. Well, interesting first half, Andy, and you'd have to say on the balance of play that Olympic probably just about deserved their lead.
Just shaded it. On another day, if Dominici was a little bit more clinical, it could be 2-0 up, maybe. Some beautiful pieces of skill from a few of the Olympic boys. When we thought Tuggeranong were getting overrun, they came back into it. They had a 15-20 minute period towards the end of the first half where they dominated, where they got some set pieces in, and where they caused Olympic a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, Stephen Dominici had the ball in the net twice, both disallowed for offside. Tuggeranong United have gone close as well. We've seen Cam Doherty hit the crossbar with a header, and Angelo Constantino pull out a fantastic save from a Daniel Roberts rasper that seemed destined for the top corner. But the difference between the two sides as we enter the break here at the Westwood FFA Cup qualifying final is a brilliant free kick from Robbie Cadnach, the man of the moment yet again, as he often is, rasping a drive across the keeper and into the top corner. An absolute beauty on the quarter-hour mark. And at half-time here at Deakin Stadium, it's Tuggeranong United 0, Canberra Olympic 1. We'll be back on Bar TV for the second half very shortly. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium for the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final between Canberra Olympic and Tuggeranong United, and Olympic leading 1-0 at the break thanks to a goal from Robbie Catanach. Doesn't look like there's any changes to the teams as we stand at the moment, which means Tuggeranong will line up the second half as they started the first. Tom Barton in goal, Mark Agar, Matt King and Cam Doherty across the back three, Liam Highmore and John Churek as the holding midfielders, Nick Faust, Andrew Slavic, Daniel Roberts and Isose Ehegi with Nikos Kalfas up front, although it may be that Ehegi pushes up to a more forward role in this second half. Canberra Olympic as well, as they ended the first half. Angelo Constantino in goal, who made a great save towards the end of that half from Daniel Roberts. Back four of Tim Bobolas, Nick Bobolas, Josh Calabria, Nathan Megic, Daniel Colbertaldo and Robbie Catanach, with Tom McLaughlin just in front of them, Jeremy Habtemarian, Stephen Dominici and Michael Reeve. And it's Canberra Olympic who start the second half, attacking a goal to our right, looking to extend their first half advantage, given to them by that fantastic free kick by Robbie Catanach, and had opportunities in the first half to add to that goal. Stephen Dominici saw a couple of goals disallowed for offside, but I'm here, my name's Russ Gibbs, by the way, and I'm here with Andy Burnell, former Socceroo Reading superstar. And Andy, we were quite happy with the way that the game panned out in that first half after Olympic dominated the opening 10 minutes.
Yep, there were certainly some exciting moments, Russ. A few goals disallowed, one goal scored, crossbar hit, post hit, some chances that just went wide, setting everything up for a fantastic second half.
But just notice there is a change for Tuggeranong. Dom Culicello has come on in the centre of the park. We'll just have to see who he's come on for there. It looks like Liam Highmore may have gone to right back, and it may be that Mark Guy's still there, Matt King's still there, maybe that Cam Doherty has pulled up and been taken off. It looks like that. It looks like Dom Colicello's come into the holding role in midfield. Maybe the experience of Colicello there is going to help to neutralise that threat that Catanach was getting in that first half.
Look, certainly it's something that if I was the Tuggeranong manager, would certainly have addressed. Robbie was just getting too much space at times in there. And like I said before, once you get him with space, able to feed people like Dominici, it can only end up one way.
Yeah, maybe, well, there's a bit of a trouble at the back there from Gaia, and he's lost possession to Habtemariam, who's going to take on his marker here, Jeremy Habtemariam, and he's going to win a throw. So maybe a little subtle shift in formation for Tuggeranong. Colicello, a genuine holding defender. Here's Dominici in the area, surrounded, and he's going to win a corner. Early pressure from Canberra Olympic.
I got an update on Stephen's injury. Got an early knock on the thigh, and I think it's just a cork. So hopefully he can stay out there. He's certainly a player that people like to watch, and hopefully he can stay out there.
It's one of those things you can run off as well, a cork, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
If it's not too bad, he'll certainly be able to.
We can see his right. He's limping a little bit. His left thigh is strapped, so we'll see what happens. They've gone short here. Colbertaldo's got some space, chipping it towards the far post. Header comes in from Bobolas, and it's going to drop for Reeve on that right foot, who hammers the volley in, but it's over the crossbar. Good chance, perhaps, there for Nick Bobolas. And again, nice to see a corner routine worked on the training ground come off. We're just checking that replay as it broke for Colbertaldo's little chip in there. Tim Bobolas got a fair piece of that header and has a good piece of defending. Meanwhile, at the other end, Ehegi has got away from his marker. As well marshalled by Nick Bobolas, and his legs kind of beat him to it there, didn't he? His brain wasn't quite working with the legs there from the young lads. And chance, though, for Olympic, Andy, early in the second half.
It was particularly a fantastic bit of play from Colbertaldo. Goes with a lot of without a lot of plaudits at times, Daniel, but is a very, very important key figure in that midfield for Olympic.
Yeah, here's McLaughlin. Good little turn from Tommy McLaughlin as well. Tries to find Dominici. Brings it under his spell. Habtemariam. Well defended on this near side. It was Matt King, but he gave the ball away. Got it back again, though. And Gaia completes the clearance. And it's a decent ball forward, looking for Kalfas, who's under a lot of pressure from Megic and Calabria, but does well to win the free kick. Marco Gaia is an interesting player here, and he's a player that started further forward, was a winger / striker, and now he's back in the central defensive. Big boy, and he's done pretty well back there.
He certainly has. Hasn't let anybody down today, and obviously has the faith and trust of his manager to be able to fit him in any position and not let the side down. And sometimes you need one or two of those types of players.
As Roberts swings this forward, Kalfas helps it on his way. It might come for Turek, who doesn't get enough of it, and it's just smashed high and clear by Nick Bobolis up towards Dominici. King beats him in the air. Yeah, reinvented himself as a centre-back, Marco Gar, and doing a very good job of it this afternoon, especially against such a vaunted attacking threat that Olympic have. Here's Colbertaldo. Tim Bobolis. Abtamariam helps it around the corner, but here is Gaia. Tidies up. And Highmore, who's dropped back into that defensive role. Colbertaldo again, having more of an influence on the game as well as he comes forward, looks to find Abtamariam. What a run! This is Colbertaldo, great chance, but he's just blazed it high and wide over the crossbar. What a fantastic move that was. Colbertaldo and Abtamariam exchanging passes. Brilliant stuff from Canberra Olympic. Daniel Colbertaldo brought it down on halfway. You can see slaloms his way through. A little 1-2 with Abtamariam, but lacking the composure for the finish at the end there. Would have been a cracker, Andy.
Oh, it was a great move, and it all started with his bringing it down on the halfway. Nice and composed. And then ran at people, brought people into play, asked questions of people.
And there's a bit of a coming together there, and it's broken for Abtamariam. And here's Katnach. Chance on the far side for Reeve, but across goes Faust, and he takes it off his toe. And referee's still letting the game go, even though Liam Highmore's left in a crumpled heap in front of us here in the grandstands, and sportingly Olympic kick it out of play, but got absolutely bushwhacked there in the tackle, didn't he? But the referee let it go, and it was almost a chance. We're just going to take a look back at that, and it was a little 1-2, and Abtamariam went in and looked like a foul, but not given. And let's have a look again. It definitely looks like he fouls him there, Andy. And
yeah, it was a foul.
Got away with one there.
I think he's obviously stayed down. The foul wasn't called. Stayed down, trying to get it. He'll be okay.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's
probably
got
just a knock on the knee. He'll run it off.
Yeah. Bit of treatment. Did he get treatment? I don't know if he did he?
He's going off now.
He's going off to get a bit of treatment on this near side. Had a good game, Liam Highmore, actually, isn't he? He's been pretty solid. And
yep, and it was it almost broke for Olympic again, and a wonderful last-ditch recovery from young Nick Faust out there on the right.
Yeah, read it superbly.
Doing really well for Tuggeranong.
He did read it absolutely superbly and had the pace to get across there and take it off his toe. And the vibrance of youth, they never give it up, Andy. They keep going.
That's it.
Here's Nick Bobolis, putting him under a bit of pressure by his brother. He wins it back, the two of them, and Nick brings it away to Abtamariam. And Matt King comes across as well. Another young defender who's done really well this afternoon so far. Doesn't look anywhere near out of place on the big stage. Is Katnach. Gets bundled in the back a bit by Gaia, and that's a cheap free kick to be given away in that situation. Katnach wants to go early. He kicks it straight into Roberts, and we're off and away again. And there's that rule where the referee says, well, you know, you're going to take it quick, and it's just turning into a bit of a kicking match there at the moment. McLaughlin's involved, a little bit of shove from Katnach. Referee Bruno Cowell's trying to get hold of this, and Chirek and Katnach having a bit of a contretemps in the middle of the park there. Bit of handbags about nothing really, Andy. I think Robbie wanted a quick free kick. Roberts didn't want to let him take it, and just kind of spiraled from there.
Shouldn't he have booked the defenders there, or not really?
I think it's one of those ones where these referees have talked about that, you know, they're looking for a yellow card by kicking it into him from that stage. You know, it could go either way. To see what Greg Taylor's got to say here, you know, did Roberts deliberately go across and stand there, or was he just stood there and Robbie kicked the ball into him? Who knows, you know. It's one of those grey areas you think, you're not sure, could go either way.
And then it led to handbags.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know.
Anyway, well, a couple of Chirek and Katnach are both going to get a card here, it would seem. Pretty yellow each, and we'll get on with the game, I guess. There we go. Good, very experienced official, Greg Taylor, on this near side, done the A-League stuff before. He's seen what's happened and just told his referee, and, you know, we'll just move on, I guess.
Well, pulled out 2 yellow cards, quickly diffused the situation, and let's get back to playing football.
Absolutely. One of those bizarre moments that you get sometimes in cup football. Anyway, Guy will take this free kick and we'll return to some sense of normality. Already closing in on 10 minutes of the second half. It's not quite sparked again at the moment. Here's Magic. A bit casual from Magic, and Kalfas is going to pick up his loose pass. Here is Kalfas. Drops the shoulder and looks for the passing fielder Roberts. Kalfas again. forced backwards. And they harry the striker. Not where he wants to be operating, is it? 25 or 45 metres from his own goal.
Certainly where Olympic would like him operating.
Yeah, and that's a good ball forward nearly from Nick Bobolas. Almost found Dominici. Roberts can't bring it under control, and Olympic have the ball back again.
Still been a little scrappy, hasn't it, at the start of the second half?
Still a lot to play for. They're placed on the national stage in the round of 32 of the Westfield FA Cup. Olympic currently have 1 foot in that round, looking to emulate their feats of last year where they got to the semi-final stage. As McLaughlin goes in hard on Faust. Just letting the referee know he thinks he left a foot in there. Getting a bit feisty with it, like as the afternoon ticks on.
And as you said, a lot to play for.
Yeah, here's up to Merriam, and
lot to play for. It's still 1-0. Yep. Anybody's game.
Highmore's about to come back on. Tuggeranong will be back to their full contingent. And looking at it, though, Andy, you're looking at ways that Tuggeranong can get back into this game, and Calfas looks the most likely for them, doesn't he? Well,
he's the one that has that little spark of magic, as does Dominici.
Here is Dominici in the area, looking to weave some magic, and it's broken away and just smashed forward by Slavic, looking for Calfas. You get the feeling, though, that if Tuggeranong are to get back into this, they have to score next. The second Olympic goal may kill this one stone dead.
100%. If Olympic score a second, I can't see on general play Tuggeranong getting back into this game.
Yeah, it wouldn't seem to be much of a way back, but stranger things have happened, I guess. Here's Tim Bobolas. Jeremy Habtemariam. A bit loose, that pass, but it's going to be picked up by Kadnach. Cheeky little back heel from Robbie Kadnach, and Olympic possession. Here's Magic. Here's Reeve. Steps around Faust. Still going Reeve into the area, but that's beaten everybody, and it's going to come out for Slavic on this near side. Looking for someone ahead to find, and Calfas is going to have to get there early ahead of Tim Bobolas. Looks for the throw-in, but it's actually an Olympic ball. And Tim Bobolas wants to go early, and he does. Here's Kadnach. Looking for Habtemariam into the area, and Dominici's in here. Chance perhaps, but the flag goes up. It would have been denied again anyway. And Tom Barton had it under control. And Slavic waiting for him to come to that, and Timmy Bobolas gets there, and Tuggeranong need a spark from somewhere, Andy.
They do, and that's what's going to... it's going to have to come up from one of those two rapid front two. At the moment, they've gone a little quiet.
Well, here's Roberts looking for a Heggie on the run. He couldn't quite get him in behind.
It's like a Heggie's done his hamstring.
Well, this doesn't look good for the young lad, does it? He's definitely pulled something. He's stretching over there on the far side, you can just see. Colbertado, I think, will kick this out and give him a bit of respite. And the Tuggeranong subs, we're talking about those young forwards. All three of them are off for a jog down the touchline. We should be seeing one of them soon. My guess it will be Carl Omino, who came off the bench to such effect in the last 2 rounds, scored a couple of goals. They have high hopes for this boy. I saw him a few years ago when he was playing in the junior footballs, and he was carving it up, and he's carried a bit of puppy fat back there in those days, but he's turning into a decent player now and got great technique and great skill and a lot of high hopes for him.
Well, it's certainly an opportunity for him, and just as we were talking that we'd need some kind of a spark from the Tuggeranong front two, a ball that went a little bit astray that a Heggie was chasing led to his downfall.
Yeah, he looked like he was going for that, and he just pulled up in that first stride.
It's definitely hamstring.
Yeah, definitely a hamstring, unfortunately, and that means that we're going to see. As I said, Heggie won't see any more of the afternoon, which is a shame for the boy. But young lad, he's going to hopefully have plenty more of these occasions in the future. And no matter what happens, they can't take away his 5 goals that he scored in one game against Riverina.
It's unlucky and unfortunate for Asosa. He's looked lively in patches, and again, both sides in patches have looked good and lively, but no one's really taken the game by the scruff of the neck.
Well, Tuggeranong have had they've got this central midfield trio we were talking about. They're bringing on young Marshall Smythe here, who's going to go up front, I'd imagine, alongside Calfas. That midfield three, we've got Roberts, you've got Colacello in there as well, and Churek as well. All very good at holding players, but at some stage you think they're going to have to take a chance, and one of them is going to have to push on and help support. And like you say, get the ball to Calfas, and now Smythe, he's up there, which they probably didn't do enough in the first half.
Certainly. It's no use having dangerous weapons up front if you can't get any ammunition to them.
Well, they've got plenty of time to do so. We've still got half an hour to play in this final, live on Bar TV. Roberts heads it forward, looking for Smythe, who would have his first touch. But Reeve has it. And that's sent forward, looking for Katnach, and Dominici's trying to get in behind the defensive covering of Marco Gaia there. Gaia clears it well. Didn't seem to be any problem with Dominici's left hamstring there, did there? Or Corky seemed to be running reasonably freely, but kind of pulls up a bit lame when he stops. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's McLaughlin. Tim Bobolas from the back. McLaughlin again. Katnach. Tim Bobolas goes down with the challenge of King. No doing, says the referee. Much to the disappointment of the Olympic fans in front of us here in the main stand. We're looking for a free kick on the edge of the area. I guess anytime someone goes down there, there'll be Tuggeranong supporters holding their breath. Here's Katnach. Doc Colacello got a toe in and wins the free kick as Tom McLaughlin left his trailing leg. So we're still separated by that goal in the first half, the dead ball effort from Robbie Katnach after 15 minutes. And since then, Olympic have had the majority of it. Tuggeranong have had the odd half chance here and there, but in the second half, Angelo Constante's been a virtual spectator for 15 minutes, hasn't he?
He has. It's been all Olympic so far. But again, as we mentioned in the first half, once it's at 1-0, they're still in it.
They're still in it. They are certainly that. Looking at the Canberra Olympic bench as well to see what their options are. They have Bernard René, who's a defensive player, Jordan Sekenis, who's a striker, Adrian Makor, a young lad, and Joshua Gillespie, who's huge talent. Joshua Gillespie scored 3 goals in this cup run for Canberra Olympic, and a lot of quality with that young lad as well. And he'd probably walk into most Premier League sides in Canberra, you'd think. And as Habta Merriam goes past a couple and is brought down. Brilliant piece of skill, brought down by Marco Gaia. Turned him one way, turned him the other, tied him up in knots, and then wins the free kick. Great play by Habtamarian. But yeah, just talking about Josh Kolevsky, great talent.
Kolevsky, another kid that probably at any other club would be playing in their first 11, but has chosen to try and force his way into a very good Canberra Olympic side, and he'll be the better for it.
Yeah, you think at some stage he will get that opportunity to show what he's got, and I think it may come today as well at some stage later on this afternoon. As McLaughlin lines up this free kick, this is a real chance for Canberra Olympic to load the penalty area. They put 3 bodies in there. There's a couple hanging around on the edge of the box, one of which is Dominici. Let's see what McLaughlin's got here. It's a decent-looking ball into the area, but it's headed clear by Gaia, helped up into the air by Roberts. Katnach just bobs that one forward, and Colacello wins it. The flag's up, and that's a free kick to Tuggeranong United. Interesting technique from Robbie Katnach there.
Well, you were mentioning about Kolevsky. He's one of a bunch of young lads in this city that need to understand that if they do get an opportunity, you need to take it. Especially when you're playing for one of the top sides, it's not that easy to get an opportunity. So when you get it, take it.
Yeah, I think he's been a bit unlucky not to get in the side today. There's a couple of players that have missed out for one reason or another. Phil Yarnold's another one, just come back from injury, a very experienced central defender, not in the Olympic squad today. And interestingly enough, a young boy called John, striker from Tuggeranong United, he was for a while. He's actually been involved in every single FFA Cup run that there's been in Canberra. He's been with Tuggeranong United, he's been with Gungahlin United, and he's been with Canberra Olympic. So each team he's been with has actually been in the FFA Cup. So that must be some sort of record if they're not playing today, but a part of this squad. And if Olympic get there again, 4 seasons of FA Cup football, involved in 4 of them.
It's a great achievement.
Yeah.
And
hasn't played in all the games, but
great achievement, and an even greater achievement. He came back this season from an ACL injury. So fantastic that he's back in the squad, or back with the bigger size squad at Olympic.
Yeah, the people out there listening to this thinking, well, we should sign him. We're guaranteed a spot in the FFA Cup if he's in your
exactly
30 players.
Yes.
The FFA Cup talisman that is Michael John. Like I said, not involved today, but one of a number of Olympic boys that isn't. Very, very talented squad. Sean Murphy, the Tuggeranong coach, said in the week that he thinks Olympic could probably pick 2 sides and put them on the park, and they'd still be competitive. They certainly have that luxury. But it's the 11 on the field doing the job for them at the moment. They lead 1-0, that Robbie Katnach goal. Long ball forward, and King tries to head it clear, and that's a bit of a dangerous one, and Heimel's come across to help him out. Dominici battling for it. And Slavic helps it on his way. And that might break for Smythe, but he's been brought down by Nick Bobolas. The flag's up, though. I think it's going to be an offside decision.
It was a good tackle. Good tackle from the skipper.
Yeah, I think Smythe was either called offside anyway, I think. But yeah, Bobolas came across and denied him any further progress either way.
Seems to have hurt himself a little bit.
We're just looking at the replay, and yeah, it's a great challenge by Nick Bobolas at the back to take the ball off of the toe of the promising young forward. Here's Magic. Calabria. They're all comfortable on the ball, these Olympic boys. They all seem to be happy to knock the ball around. And here's McLaughlin. Tried a little cheeky flick, didn't work for him. But Tuggeranong need someone to stamp their authority on this, Andy. They need someone to take the game by the scruff of the neck and help get them back into it.
They certainly do.
That
seems to be all Olympic at the moment, and I'd say from Frank's point of view, he'd be looking to close this game up.
Yeah, they're fairly comfortable at the moment. Constantino, as we mentioned, hasn't touched the ball this half, and it's all been one-way traffic without really threatening to add to their first half lead. Now here's perhaps a chance for Tuggeranong as Turek knocks it down the line, looking for Kalfas. Didn't quite pick the run of the forward, and Nick Bobolas comes across. Sense of urgency perhaps so for Tuggeranong. Here's Roberts. Kalfas again. Turek tries to put him back in for a 1-2, but Colbertalde is going to cover that one up and does well. Clearance completed by Nick Bobolas, and here's Habtemariam, who skips away from one challenge, advancing forward to Dominici. Twisting and turning, trying to get away from Liam Highmore, who seems to be following him pretty much everywhere he goes this half. Maybe that's his brief at half-time. Dominici not running as freely as you'd hope, I think, on this near side. He's struggling to get forward a bit. Here's Tim Bobolas. Here he is. Good ball, though, to Tim Bobolas on the overlap. Into the air and just smashed clear by Geyer in the end. And Canberra Olympic looking to see this one out. We've still got just under 25 minutes or so to go. They lead by that goal from Robbie Kadnach, and they're looking the more likely, to be perfectly honest. Fans of Tuggeranong, though, will be hoping that they can find some way back into this game, unlikely as it is right now. Here's Habtemariam. Bobolas, Habtemariam again. Olympic happy to keep possession and wait for the opening. Here's Kadnach. Turek wins the ball, but Kadnach wins it back again. Still going, Robbie Kadnach playing on his own at the moment. And that's going to roll through harmlessly, and Tuggeranong need to get rid of this. Here's Slavic. Sends it forward to Kalfas. Can he get hold of it and keep the ball for a little bit for Tuggeranong? Again, every time he gets it, he's obviously the danger man. They picked him out. Every time he gets it, Andy, there's two men on him. Well cleared by Geyer.
There is two men on him, but he certainly needs to be a little stronger.
Yeah. So he's got a cello. Battle with Colbertalde, and again it comes back with a blue shirt, and again Sean Murphy will be disappointed that Tuggeranong can't keep hold of the ball. Here's Habtemariam. They are asking for trouble at the moment. It's Jeremy Habtemariam. Real chance for shooting opportunity. Still going Habtemariam. Shot takes a deflection, and it creeps just wide of the goal, with Tom Barton sprawling across there, trying to get across to make a save on great feet from Jeremy Habtemariam.
Tuggeranong in trouble at the moment. Can't seem to get out of their own half, and Olympic starting to really take control and dominate this game. The only thing missing is the second goal. If they get a second, I can see a third coming, and some of the Tuggeranong troops look a little dejected at this stage.
Yeah, it's great feet from Habtemariam. He's twisting his marker inside and out there, and the shot was destined towards the goal until it took a deflection. It almost crept in. It's up towards Medjic in the air. It's going to come for Nick Bobolas, who chests it down. Chance perhaps here, unmarked on the far post, and the header from Tim Bobolas, I believe. That was straight to Barton. What a chance that was, and that could have been the game. Yeah, the game wrapped up there and there. Tim Bobolas, right back, not quite there to getting the header, and his brother sends it across, and Tim heads it straight at the goalkeeper from about 8 yards. But Andy, you'd have played in plenty of games like this, I guess, where the opposition have dominated the game and they haven't put it away, and it just takes up one chance.
Well, it's the only concern that Frank Keisha would have at this stage. It's total domination, some fantastic skills from all the boys. But that final pass, that final goal, just not going in at the moment. And for Olympic, it allows Tuggeranong to still be in this game.
Yeah, well, it's still 1-0. There's still hope for the green and white hoops of Tuggeranong United, who trail 1-0 to that Robbie Katnach goal. You know, Frank Keisha must be thinking at the moment, we should have had this buried a long, long time ago. It's been a decent game so far, though. We've been happy with what we've seen so far.
Look, we could have seen some more goals.
Yeah.
A little bit more polish up front from Olympic. They'll look to, if they do progress, get a little bit better in those areas. They'll need to be.
Yeah, as you said, you need to be a bit more ruthless.
Yes.
Last year they built their cup run on not scoring too many goals, but they were pretty solid. They had a solid defensively. They beat Surfers Paradise 1-0 and then beat Redlands United 2-0 with 2 penalties in that game, and then squeezed past Green Gully 1-0 with another penalty from Angela Constantine. So scoring goals last year in the FFA Cup was an issue for them, but I guess when you get to that stage, it is all about what you can do there and then on the day. Here's a yellow card coming out for Tim Bobolas at right back there. There's certainly enough talent in this Olympic side, should they progress, for them to be able to score goals.
Oh, definitely.
So we'll see a Tuggeranong free kick. They're looking to test Angelo Constante, which I make it now. We've got 20 minutes to go. He hasn't touched the ball yet in the second half. Jordan Sekenis is being called back to the bench for Olympic as well. Looks like we may see him shortly. Maybe to add a bit of polish into that front third. He can finish as well, this boy. Highmore looking towards Turek, who's made the run, but it's cleared by Calabria. Straight back in again, and Nick Bobolas this time wins the header. Roberts tries to pick up the pieces. And Olympic come away again with Reeve. Just slows it down, looks for a man. There's always one available. Here's Dominici this time. Back to Katnach again. Sweeping a ball forward. McLaughlin's going to get in behind here, and there's a chance if the bounce was nice for him, but Tom Barton read it superbly well. And sets his team in motion forward. Here's Matt King.
And straight away they give it away.
Yeah, stabs it forward again, and this must be really concerning. As again the ball's played forward. Gaia wins ahead of this time. Turek with McLaughlin all over him like a rash. Now here's Habtemarian, but Turek comes away with the ball. King looking for Calfas, but again Bobolas wins the header. And Olympic are just picking up everything at the moment, and it's just Tuggeranong cannot get hold of the ball. And without the ball, they're not going to challenge the man who had it just then, Angelo Constantini.
They can't keep it. They can't grab it. They can't hold it. At the moment, it's all Blues.
Here's Habtemarian. Cole Bataldo. As we mentioned, though, it is still 1-0. Faust, who's been tidy today, probably him and probably the best of the Tuggeranong players, him and Liam Highmore, I would suggest.
He has been, and even now is starting to, he's starting to go off the ball a little bit.
Here's Colacello. Looking for options. One of them's Turek. Tuggeranong, quite sensibly, I think, at this stage, trying to keep the ball for a little bit. Trying to create an opening. Roberts, it's nicely done, and it's unfortunate that Faust couldn't get on the end of that. Olympic throw. Going to see Jordan Sekenis in a minute. Scored one of the goals in the semi-final win over Canberra FC. I wonder who he's going to replace. It looks like Michael Reeve.
Reeve's coming off.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see Sekenis going wide there. Reeves had a good game as well, and he's been pretty useful outlet down on that left flank.
Reeves had a good first half, ran at people, created problems. Has been a little quiet in the second half. Certainly Sekenis is a young boy that can come on, and he's a proven goal scorer, has pace, and someone that Tuggeranong will have to definitely keep an eye on.
Yeah, most of the play this half seems to have come down the right-hand side to Habtemariam, hasn't it? Whereas in the first half, it would seem to be more down Reeves' channel. So, he had a decent game, and put some decent balls in the first half, as Andy said.
Again, and the challenge for a lot of these guys is a lot of them can do it for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. Can you do it the whole game?
Well, we'll see if anyone can affect this in the last 15 minutes. Here's Slavic to Kalfas. Tries a little trick and it doesn't come off for him, and Habtemarian picks up the pieces and advances forward, but Turek watches him all the way this time. But I'm sure Olympic will be happy where they are. They're in the Tuggeranong half again. Tim Bobolas with a long throw, looking for Dominici. Guy has read him well, and that's a free kick. Push in the back there. Stephen Dominici struggling a bit. Signal to the bench there. I think he's may have run his race here. Didn't look very comfortable, does he? I think that cork's come back now. Maybe it's getting a bit colder here in Canberra as we progress into the afternoon. And I'm sure Frank would have liked to have known that 10 minutes ago before he brought Tuggeranong on, and might change his plans a little bit. So maybe there's a bit of a groin strain there with Dominici as well. Yeah, he was holding his groin a little bit. Sometimes when you get those corks, Andy, I guess you overcompensate in other areas as well, and that's maybe what's happened, but we'll wait and see. There's no change yet. There's movement on the bench. And
he's certainly a player that Frank would love to keep on the pitch, but it gives an opportunity to young Golevsky now.
Yeah, we're going to see Golevsky for Dominici in a moment.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he comes on and scores. He's certainly got the ability to set this game on fire.
They certainly don't lose anything by pulling off their top goal scorer, bringing on a talent as good as Golevsky. It's all Olympic again. I think he'll thrive in this atmosphere as well. They've had so much ball, and he got that little bit of quality to kill this game off. And here's McLaughlin looking for Bobolis. Credit to Tuggeranong, though. They've kept themselves in it. They've battled. They've defended well. They've got numbers back.
They have.
And they're still in this match. And when many experts around town would have predicted that this would have been done and dusted a long time ago, they've ridden their luck on occasions, but they're still in it with 15 minutes to go. Tuggeranong. That was his first touch of the game.
And again, it's the strength and depth. That's what great sides are built on. And for Canberra, this Olympic team is a great side.
And Frank Keisha's done really well to keep this squad happy as well, because it's there's a lot of players out there that would love, like we said before, would walk into first grade teams elsewhere around town, and he's done really well to keep them all happy. And you know, there are a bunch that are winning things. If they win today, believe it or not, they played 6 major finals in the last 3 years, and this will be 6 wins. Wow. So they won the grand final in 2015. They claimed the treble last year and the Charity Shield at the start of this year. The only game they didn't play in was the Charity Shield, the inaugural one last year, when they weren't involved. But they've won 6. This will be 6 from 6 major trophies in the last 6 finals. Incredible stuff as Golevsky comes on for Dominici, who's been unlucky not to be amongst the goals today. He had 2 disallowed in the first half. And 2 different types of players now, I guess, with Golevsky and Tuggeranong for Tuggeranong to deal with. And
Tuggeranong pace.
Yeah, Tuggeranong change as well. This is young Carl Armino, I believe, that's coming on for Roberts. So this is a throw of the dice by Sean Murphy, who's bringing on a striker for a holding midfielder. And young Carl Armino, again, another youngster that we talked about, he's amongst the goals. He's not shy of confidence either. That's a good thing, I guess, in a young player as well. They want to have the confidence, like you were talking about Faust in the first half, the confidence to have take those opportunities when they come.
And things like this are opportunities. Yeah, what a wonderful stage for a kid to come on. And who knows?
Well, I don't want to put the hex on him, but I've seen him play before, and he has got that composure when he gets on goal, and you can't really teach that, can you, Andy? It's just something that it's innate, I guess, in some of these strikers. And
it's almost a sixth sense.
Yeah, we'll see how he goes if he gets the opportunity. Meantime, it's still Olympic as it swings towards the far post. It's going to come for Nick Bobolis from Tim Bobolis. Talking of sixth sense, they link up quite a lot, don't they? That's the brotherly thing that's going on there, I guess. Here's Colbertado, who's probably been the linchpin around what Olympic have done today. He's been absolutely outstanding again in a quietly effective way. That's a good ball towards the far post. Tim Bobolis is coming in to win it, and Barton read the head back across goal. Otherwise, it would have been a simple finish for Josh Calabria. In the meantime, Tuggeranong looked to break where Calabria was. Faust sends it forward. Now, there is Armino, his first touch, but he's just straight offside. What a pass that was, though, from, I think it was it Golevsky's first touch of the afternoon?
It was a fantastic
and he swung it towards the far post, and Tim Bobolis came in to knock it back across goal, and Tom Barton read it. But that's the quality that you've got there.
And Timmy had the right idea there. The aim was to knock it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't quite get it over Tom.
Big boy to get it over, isn't he? There's a lot of Tom Barton, and he's not small. And it's amazing how many times they get into those positions. There must be something that Frank Keisha teaches his young fullbacks to get forward and overload that far post, because you get opportunities.
Well, I think he gives them the instructions to and the license to at the right time. Be brave, get forward.
Well, Hampton Merriam's offside here, so this will be a free kick. And good energy from those boys as well to get up and down the field at this stage of the game.
1, you need a good motor to do it. 2, you need faith in yourself, faith from the touchline. And if it's on, get in there. Get in there. Someone else will cover you.
Well, Mino's beaten in the air by Calabria, and here's Colbertado again. Always seems to be where the pieces are, Danny Colbertado.
He's picking everything up. And to be honest with you, he's been fantastic in there today.
We'll talk about man of the match a little bit later, Andy, but I'm sure he'll be up there in your estimations, I guess. He's won the ball back again there from a little bit of a poor pass from Abtamarian, brings it forward. Here's a chance for Tuggeranong. Overload on that side to Magic. Chips it into the penalty area. Chance here. Barton goes in. That's a foul, surely. The flag's gone up. What a chance that was, though. I think Tuggeranong went in for it. We'll just check out the replay in a moment. But
no, it was Colbertado.
Was it Colbertado? It came wide, and Magic just rolled it in there, and Colbertado copped an elbow to the face, I think, from the retreating Marco Guy. Whether that was accidental or not, only Guy knows.
But it's something he's done well today, Colbertado, from that sixth position. Really driven forward well, really created Tuggeranong, created a headache for them.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to cope with it, really. I mean, other than the fact that Olympic haven't been able to add to that 15th minute goal from Robbie Cadnach, which, benefit the doubt to the keeper, we're going to say is a goal worthy of winning a game of this at the moment. It was a great finish from one of the players that we know has got the ability to do it, and he has had the ability down the years, Robbie Cadnach, coming up with the big goals in the big games. Ball swept to this near side where Slavic will look to bring it under. Tim Bobolas again wins the ball. He's had another one who's had a great game, and here's Habtemariam now. A bit of space for Habtemariam to run at Turek. He comes back to Tim Bobolas. McLaughlin. Cadnach is square. Is this the moment as Robbie Cadnach ditched past a couple? Here's Habtemariam into the area. Cadnach still going. Still Cadnach. And that's it! Robbie Cadnach with an absolute spellbinding finish. Maybe got a bit lucky as he broke into the area with the 1-2 with Habtemariam. But when you needed the composure we were talking about to finish, there was Robbie Cadnach. And it's Olympic 2, Tuggeranong 0, and quite possibly a place in the round of 32.
Fantastic goal, fantastic individual brilliance from Robbie. Just cut the defence to shreds, went right through them.
He did, and there wasn't any luck there at all. I think Habtemariam laid the ball back into his path as he's dribbled his way through, and when he needed a finish, he led down Barton, and he just finished superbly. Robbie Cadnach.
Composure.
Yeah, we talked about it, that innate ability to be able to just take those chances when they come, and he's one that's had it. It was just that composure to get through, and what a finish it was as well.
And it's what Olympic have this year. In Dominici and Cadnach, you have game winners. You have guys that can win you a match with a little bit of individual brilliance. Not always working as hard as they possibly could, but they're clever. They're very clever.
And he's done it over and over and over again with teams he's played with, Canberra Olympic, Kuma Tigers, in the big matches, in the grand finals, and coming up with big goals. Came up with 2 big goals in the semi-final to win the match against Canberra FC, and he's come up with 2 big goals again today to probably, and we say probably, it would take a miracle for Tuggeranong back here with 8 minutes to go to try and pull this one back. But if they are to do it, they need to do it soon, Andy, and this is an opportunity to get players forward.
It is an opportunity, and Faust got them a free kick again. He's probably been a driving force today for Tuggeranong. The young kid out there on the right hasn't given up.
You wouldn't think he's still a young teenager, would you?
No,
he's
no,
just a great player, and I think he's got future A-League players written all over him without putting too much on the young lad. Here's a ball into there, it's nodded down, and McLaughlin's going to get rid of it up towards Gillespie. Now, he loved this kind of chase with Matt King, with Josh Gillespie. He's got a lot of gas and a lot of skill, and King, fair play to him, 16-year-old centre-back, read it superbly and dealt with it.
And great to see some 16, 17-year-old kids out here on the pitch today.
Yeah, it's the opportunity, like you say, for the A-League clubs and your big clubs to look at these kind of guys and say, well, they could probably do a job given the opportunity.
And the thing is, we're not saying that they're going to go directly into an A-League first 11 or 15.
Of course.
But you get a kid like Faust who goes into an A-League environment at under 18s or 20s, and then it's up to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's in the right environment.
Here's Habtemariam. Yeah, that full-time training would help as well, being in that environment and learning from the players he's with every day. And then for the Cup,
there's a lot of players out here that, with this mature age rookie possibility, the Cup is a wonderful thing for them to showcase their talent.
And we mentioned Tommy Roderick earlier on. He wouldn't be the first Tuggeranong player that's come through those kind of ranks to do those kind of things. And, in the past, Tuggeranong have had players like Lindsay Wilson play for them as well. Carl Valeri, another one as well. So they're renowned.
It can be done.
Yeah, it can do. Near post is coming. Gillespie goes for the near post. Read it well, but does well to bring back. Oh, super skill from Gillespie. Stands his man up, and he's still got the ball. Looking for an opening. It's perhaps a chance, but wonderful feat from Josh Gillespie. It's broken for Amino. Let's see what this young lad's got. So Kenneth is back with him, which is diligent work from the replacement forward to track the run of Amino, the pacey player on a pacey player. And that's good technique from good tactical discipline from Jordan Sekenis, I think.
It's good defending. It's Frank's got them all working for the one cause.
As Bernard Rene comes on with 5 minutes to go for Tom McLaughlin, who's worked hard in the middle of that park. Plenty of touches. We haven't gotten up to stats here, unfortunately, but you'd suggest the midfield three at Olympic have had a bucket full of touches between them today. Tuggeranong haven't been able to get hold of it. Here's Gillespie.
Oh, Potato again.
Yeah, always there for an option.
Everything.
Always there for an option. Forward from Bobolis, Sekenis, Heptamerium. Well read by Faust. Here's Colacello. Trying to get away from Heptamerium, who's niggling at his heels. Now Kalfas. Hasn't had the room he would like today. They've obviously recognised that's a good ball. They're looking for it, but Andrew Constantinu, very alert, comes and gets it and says to Nathan Medjic, you have a run, my friend. And in the 86th minute of the game, I'm sure Nathan Medjic thanked him for that. 80 metres to go there, Andy. You're like, okay, we'll keep the ball.
Thank you.
He's still forward, Nathan Medjic, and Tuggeranong going to have to push some more numbers forward, I think, and there may be gaps left. Here is Tim Bobolis and Bernard Rene's first touch of the ball. Another player who's incredibly comfortable on the ball as well, and a great player. And look at that vision.
Habertarian's done well today as well.
He's found Tim Bobolis. He certainly has. Here's Gillespie. This is looking ominous for Tuggeranong. Here's Heptamerium. What a move this is. Is this three? Sekenis. What a great piece of defending from Nick Faust. The ball comes in. Rene wins it back. Wonderful move from Olympic, and what a brilliant piece of defending from young Faust. We've said it before. He read it, otherwise Sekenis was tapping that ball home, and Olympic could probably wrap up shop and go. But as it is, Tuggeranong may break with Gaia pushing further forward like he used to. Here's Tim Bobolis. Colbertaldo looking for the ball of Sekenis and Gillespie, and Barton comes and wins it. Heptamerium. Will Catanach try something spectacular? Not this time. Bit of a tie clearance from Nick Faust. Here's Tim Bobolis on a thumping challenge, and a good one too from Gaia. And now here's Kalfas, pulled back by Nick Bobolis, who's going to see yellow here. Both brothers getting a yellow card. And I don't think as a coach or as a player you're too worried about that. That's probably a good yellow card at this stage, Andy.
Look, I think it was, from my point of view, a fantastic bit of defending.
Yeah, just a little pull back so Kalfas didn't get away. We've got just over 3 minutes remaining here on Bar TV in the Westfield FA Cup qualifying final. Canberra Olympic leading Tuggeranong United by 2-0, 2 pieces of magic from Robbie Catanach in differing ways. A brilliant free kick and then a sensational solo individual goal with a little bit of help from Jeremy Heptamerium to probably seal this. But Tuggeranong won't give up. We've got 3 minutes plus stoppage time, and Colacello's lining this one up. But you'd have to think they'll have to strike soon, and they haven't looked likely at the moment, but you never know. Here's Colacello. Pretty much everybody's forward. They've left King back to Mark Gillespie. Everybody else is in and around the Olympic penalty area, as you'd expect. Colacello swings that one in. Constantinu comes, big paw on that one and punches it away. And it's going to break for Sekenis, who's got pace. But unfortunately for Jordan Sekenis, probably one of the quickest boys on the field, is back with him. And Faust defends brilliantly again. And we keep saying it, and we don't want to put too much pressure on the boy, but sensational stuff from Nick Faust in a losing cause so far. Kalfas. Guy's on side, and he's going to get there first. But he can't keep his feet, and Nick Bobolis does well, and it's back, and the danger is averted.
He's had a great day, young Nick Faust, and he's certainly one that will look to give him some time at an A-League club in their younger environments, and I have high hopes for him.
Let's hope he flourishes, yeah.
It's just a matter of getting in there and a team willing to develop these kids further, and he can become an A-League player and maybe even more, as did Valeri, as did Rogic, as did a lot of them that started at Tuggeranong.
Well, Faust's got work to do here as Medjic chases him, and a bit of a size difference there, but Faust does pretty well. Can't quite get out of play there, and here's Medjic, who's got an opportunity to swing it towards the far post. Gillespie comes in, can't get the header on it, and it's wide. Probably the first mistake young Faust has made all day. Again, typical commentator's curse, they call that.
Well, it's the naivety and the youthfulness that he did so well, and then when he should have just cleared it, he gave it away.
Well, with a minute plus stoppage time to go, Andy, Who do you think is your man of the match this afternoon?
Look, I think overall...
Oh, hang on, we'll just stop you there because Amino may be in here. Constantino came out, read it superbly. That was a half chance.
I would say, and you probably agree, Daniel Colportato. I thought he's been in everything today. He's, if you're looking for someone that totally dominated kind of the way the game went, everything went through him. Second balls he got to, went on some great runs, nearly got himself a goal. Definitely my man of the match. Obviously he's an Olympic player, and again, young Nick Faust for Tuggeranong did himself very proud today.
Two quality players. As you said, Colportato has dictated the pace of the game for most of it today, and he's had a lot of touches, and he's that little linchpin, as you mentioned before, that often goes under the radar. Whilst the bigger names, like if you like your Cadenacci's, get the goals, but you can't do it without those kind of players. And the old water carriers, I think they called them back in the day, didn't they? Makelele and that kind of role.
I played against a guy that Cantona called the water carrier Didier Deschamps, 105 caps for France. And Colby, in a way, reminds me of him a little bit, you know. And at one stage when you're looking at your six, you're holding midfielder to clear things at the back. You know, he was winning headers at one stage.
Absolutely, and he's had a great game, and we don't get the official vote, but I'm sure he'll be up there or thereabouts when they're talking about it. Tuggeranong perhaps have one final chance to get forward. We're into stoppage time. I haven't seen the board, whether or not that's gone up while we weren't looking. I guess Matt Ridden, the fourth official, is just there at the moment, so we don't have a board, I guess. We're not going to know how long there is left, but we're into stoppage time, of which we've had 30 seconds, and it looking like Canberra Olympic are going to be lifting the Federation Cup, the Westwood FFA Cup qualifying final here in Canberra for the second successive year. Barton comes out to collect that one. He'll have to get on with this early. Here's Chirek. Gillespie doesn't give him a moment's peace. Faust looking to send it forward, looking for a runner. It's Kalfas and the pressure from Nick Bobbles. He wins this one, and it's going to drop before Gaia, who comes back in to his right foot. Kalfas, Gaia again. Is there hope for Tuggeranong? Still going, Marco Gaia. And he's going to win a free kick, is he? No. Play on. Here's Smythe. Keeping possession. Faust once more. A little bit of miscontrol, but he's still going. Good run down the wing, and it's a good challenge. Brilliant challenge from Nathan Medjic. And it's going to be a Tuggeranong corner. Chance perhaps to throw everybody forward in the 92nd minute. This is have to score here, Andy, if they've got any hope.
I've seen it done before.
Well, there was a fairly famous European Champions League final, wasn't there, where a team scored twice from corners in stoppage time and won a game. So this would take an extra time if they could get a couple like that, but you never know.
Here's where Olympic have to be strong.
Ball into the penalty area. They're all up for it, of course, and it's going to break for Smythe on the edge of the box. Couldn't quite get it under control, and Gillespie's harrowing him. Here's Kalfas. Looking to spark something, still going. Kalfas tries his luck from range, and that pretty much sums up the afternoon for Tuggeranong, really. Shot off target from Nikos Kalfas. Frustrated stance there from the Greek import from Tuggeranong. Hasn't been able to dictate it as much as he would like this afternoon, but he's been well marshalled.
He has been well marked, and he shows nice touches. He shows top quality touches. But again, hasn't had a lot of service, to be fair to him.
Yeah, Olympic have pretty much dominated this from start to finish, and apart from a 5-10 minute spell in the first half when Tuggeranong went close on a couple of occasions, it's really been only one team that's looked likely winning this game, and that team is going to win the Westwood FFA Cup here for the second successive year unless something absolutely remarkable happens in the next minute or two. We're not sure how much stoppage time there was indicated, but there won't be too much more to go, I wouldn't have thought. We've already had 3. Constantino sends it forward. Highmore's going to get there, and the final whistle goes, and it's Canberra Olympic who have dominated this game. And Andy, they're going to be great representatives once again for ACT in the Westwood FFA Cup.
Well, look, to do it 2 years in a row is a fantastic achievement. As you mentioned before, I think it's the past 2 years. It's is it the 6th final?
6th final that they've won, yes. So 6 out of 6 as well. Frank Cation, it's an incredible achievement.
Fantastic, and it is a big achievement to get in the last 32, the final 32 of the FFA Cup, and it's the magic of the cup. Let's see who they draw. But certainly on today's performance, they did deserve to win with a little bit more clinicalness up front. Could have probably had a few more goals. against a youthful side in Tuggeranong that they can all go home and say, we did ourselves proud.
Yeah, I think they gave 100%, didn't they? Definitely looking at the beaten side at Tuggeranong, there were several players in that lineup. The youngsters we talked about during the game, Faust and Matt King, Liam Highmore again did a good job as well. Lots of good solid play defensively, lots of good solidity in the tackle, and structure was good as well, but just lacking that little bit of quality in the final third when it came to the crunch.
Exactly, and but a lot to build on for Tuggeranong. They're a proud club in Canberra. They've played in the FFA Cup before. They got a lot of good young kids coming through. So for them, plenty to build on.
And looking at Canberra Olympic, and basically it's boiled down to two absolute moments of genius from Robbie Cadnach again. Whilst they had a lot of possession, they plodded a little bit in front of goal, missed some chances, bit unfortunate in moments. Weren't as clinical as they needed to be, but on these big occasions, you need your big players to step up, and Robbie Cadnach has done that again.
Well, exactly. He, along with Dominici, they've probably been the pick of the two best Canberra NPL players over the past 3, 4, 5 years, and doing it almost in second, third gear. Robbie's... these guys are working during the day and doing other stuff. They're not full-time. But the one thing that they both have, and the reason that they both can dominate, is they have great football brains. And they're the things that can allow you to play at a higher level if you have the rest of the package.
Well, Robbie works locally, and I know that he had to organise his shifts around his game today to play. Looking at this Canberra Olympic team as well, the 11 players that started, and even the ones that came on, there wasn't anybody in that team that you say didn't put in a shift today, didn't actually contribute to the victory. Both the back four of Magic, the Bobolus boys, Calabria, all had good moments on the ball, looked very comfortable on possession going forward. The midfield three of Colby, Cobertaldo, Cadnach and McLaughlin pretty much dominated that area. The wide boys, Reeve and Habtemariam, created havoc with the little ball they got out wide and creating opportunities. And of course Dominici, like we said, not his greatest day in front of goal, but on another day he's come away with a couple of goals and they've won comfortably.
Well, certainly you could tell his class. I think all the side, without being great or brilliant, were solid, and maybe luckily for Tuggeranong, Stephen got a knock early doors, and it kind of hampered him a little bit. Eventually he had to come off with it, but a great day for Canberra football. There's a nice little crowd here. Fantastic for Canberra Olympic and Tuggeranong. Unlucky losers today. That's football. But certainly, like I said before, plenty to build on, and they can go home looking forward to ending the league. Knowing that as a club they've given a lot of youth a wonderful opportunity, and that's a nice thing.
We're watching the officials get their medals at the moment. I'm assuming we'll possibly stay on air for the presentation of the cup, so we'll just discuss the game a little bit more. The officials, they had a good game as well. All four of them. Bruno Kell for his first major final. I think he handled it fairly well.
Yes, he kept it flowing. There were a couple of yellow cards issued, but there was nothing. We talked more about the football than the referees or the officiating, which is that's always a great sign.
Yeah, Sean Murphy, let's have a quick chat about the coach for Tuggeranong. He's brought his side here, thrown into the deep end after about 3 rounds this season when the regular coach parted ways with the club, and Sean's managed to bring his side, like you say, through some. It wasn't the most testing of runs for them, but it was a difficult enough run when everybody's fighting to be at this stage. And to get here with this young group of boys, you'd hope that they can move on from here, like you mentioned, at full time.
Look, I think for him, so early in his managerial career, it's a wonderful achievement. He seems from the outside. I've spoken to him briefly, but it seems like he has a lot of young talent there, promising talent. He seems to have a squad and a team that believe in what he's talking about, that want to play for him. And can they get better? Yes. That comes with time. But for the little time that he's actually been in charge, he can be proud of all the boys and proud of himself. And, that's a wonderful effort against a side that has dominated ACT football majorly over the past 2 years.
You're talking about young players probably getting some of their first medals here, and there's that old cliche that you need to lose one to win one. At this stage of their career with these young boys, obviously it's not the medal they want, but to play at this stage and get a medal and to be, I was part of this occasion, does it make them hungry for more?
It does, and I'll give you a personal experience of mine. Playing in the old National Soccer League, played in a grand final against Marconi for Sydney Olympic at Parramatta Stadium, full house, and we lost. A year later, we went back, same two teams, and we won. But we were hungry to win the next year. We weren't going to lose it the second year in a row. So yeah, it does. Like you said, you may have to lose one to actually appreciate winning one.
Conversely, Angelo Constantino, the Canberra Olympic captain, is just talking now. He's about to present the medals to the winners. Conversely, from their point of view, Andy, we mentioned it briefly again, 6 trophies from the last 6 attempts that they've had. Won everything last year, top of the table this year, already won this trophy, looking good for the championship again, looking good for the grand final again, looking back in the FFA Cup. How does Frank Casey keep the motivation going for this group of boys who basically have won everything there is to win at local level?
Well, it's something that Frank and I catch up regularly and discuss how the team's going and how he can make the team better and improve the team. And you know, I told him with more success, the big problem he's going to get is he's going to need a stronger squad, more depth in the squad, but that then creates a problem of keeping people happy. So for me, he's done a wonderful job to keep everybody happy. It's not easy. You've got 4 or 5 boys that are on the bench, some that weren't even kitted up today, that could command first team spots anywhere else. So you've got to create a scenario where you need to be happier at, for example, a Real Madrid than a Malaga.
Well, before they get the trophy, I just want to make a mention of these 2 boys that are going to go and get their medals in a minute. Matt Keisha and Nick Paliagi, the assistant coaches at Canberra Olympic, both very good up-and-coming coaches as well, and Frank surrounding himself with the right people.
Well, that's very important. You know, he's you need to surround yourself with quality people, good people, people that you respect, that you trust, and people that all the boys. You need to create camaraderie. You need to create a great environment, and whether it's coaches, physios, medical staff. Everybody needs to be on the same page.
Well, all that's left for us here today is to see Angelo Constantino lift this Federation Cup for Canberra Olympic, who will be the representative of the ACT in the FFA Cup round of 32. The game itself saw Canberra Olympic score early, 15 minutes in, as they lift the trophy to the delight of their fans in front of us. It's going to be a good night for those boys. Robbie Katnach fired them in front with a 15th minute free kick, an absolute perler to open the scoring. And then after Tuggeranong's spell in which Daniel Roberts went close, great save from Angelo Constantino, and Cam Doherty hit the crossbar with a header. It was all Olympic in this second half, capped with an absolutely sensational goal from Robbie Katnach, dribbling his way through, exchanging passes with Jeremy Hapsamarim and slotting the ball home when he needed to. It was an absolutely beautiful goal. Andy Burnell, thanks for your company this afternoon. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you alongside us.
Thanks for having us here.
And thanks for watching Bar TV and the Westfield FA Cup qualifying final in Canberra, which has finished Tuggeranong United 0, Canberra Olympic 2.
Perfect.